Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, hello, and welcome to another episode of War of the Shattered Sun. I am your humble dumble master, as always, the one and only a Pooting Pastry, the Farting Tart, joined by my crew of intrepid adventurers. We have the Punk Our Dog, the CG, the Wolfstalker 16, the J Frost 747s, and the Wicked River 97s. Hello, friends. I
Hi.
I agree.
Hello.
What are y'all? Where is everyone getting food? What are y'all eating?
Sandwich.
CG's
Ribs.
eating. J
I
Frost
need
is
to eat.
eating.
Hold on.
Punk, I think, is eating.
I ate before I got here.
What the fuck? Why didn't y'all bring any for me?
I'm
Or
not
for the
doing
rest of the class.
anything, So
Do you see what J Frost posted in the Discord? That could feed a family.
Also, I will actively box you for that food.
Greedy fuckers. I'll remember this. In the war.
Of the Shattered Sun?
No.
Oh.
But yes, our dear friend Joe is unfortunately not here tonight. He had a bit of a small family emergency come up, and unfortunately has to be away for tonight. We are wishing that things are well, and we will see him again hopefully next episode. But for now, gamers, it's time to roll test rolls. Do it now. And I'm
Do it now.
Put on the cookie.
5.
Oh, look at that nat 20.
Hey!
19.
And I don't think you had inspiration, if I remember correctly.
I did not. I had birthday inspiration, but that is not the same.
Excellent. I still need a roll from Punk. From Punk.
Lie.
Shaking you. Punk. Okay, Punk might have had to step away. That's fine. Oops. We can shake them in our Discord. Hold on.
It's okay. I'll fill in. Dime Punk, I'm excited and slightly
Hey,
angry.
Punk your dog, gabagoo. Hey. If you know, you know. Hey, Steam, I'm gonna need you to fuck off. Actually, goodbye. I forgot to close Steam before we started.
Everyone do your best Punk impressions until Punk gets back.
Yes.
Is
Let me
Dave
tell you
not
about
here?
There you go.
That's a pretty good one.
That is
Let
a
me tell
pretty
you
good
about
one.
Epic the Musical.
That could be either you or Jake. I don't know. It's really up to interpretation. Punk
The
or
difference
Jake,
is-
I mean.
Yeah, the difference is if it's Jake, it'll be punctuated with a yes.
Oh. Alrighty. Well,
I love our friends.
I don't know where Punk went, but I gotta get started. So, gamers. Last time, as Exilia Regalia stands within the sacred temple of Aina, hidden amongst the roots of the Umberwood that sits above, they receive an important sending message from their ally, Theon Dragonhawk. The young prince, Nexus Aragon, has awoken from his coma. As it would be believed, you guys immediately get the fuck out of there, bamfing back to Dragon's Reach and heading towards where you know Nexus to be staying. As you pull up, as you arrive, you see that there is a small sort of gathering. It seems that a bit of the castle staff has caught wind of the situation. And as you guys pull up, you can see that... Hi, Punk.
Hello.
As you guys pull up, you guys can see there's a bit more of a Central Guard presence around Nexus's chambers. You all rush in. No one even tries to stop the frankly freight train that is Reihua Kore coming through that hallway. And as you guys make your way inside, you see that Garrett is sort of stood off to the side alongside Theon, and next to the bed is one of the castle doctors, medical staff cleric, who seems to be checking Nexus's vitals. Nexus seems to be sitting upright. He looks refreshed, fine, like nothing happened. He sees your group come in and he smiles and he says, "Hey, you guys are. Hello."
Or he's gonna sweep in and kind of gently but firmly hug Nexus.
Mm-hmm. As you do, the medic the cleric who's sort of there doesn't really stop you, just kind of simply goes,
Huffs.
"What?"
Huffs, maybe. Like,
Just kind of, she doesn't necessarily stop you, but just kind of goes, "He's still waking up. Please try to be a bit gentle with him."
Well, that shut that idea down. I was gonna ask if the medic was Bishop Wolgard.
No, just seems to be one of the castle staff. Nexus kind of perking up a little bit, goes, "I actually feel fine. I feel good."
do you remember anything?
I remember I was training, and then I got really tired. I remember a little bit of conversation. And I think I remember fainting. And then I woke up here. How... I know that Theon and Garrett said that I have been asleep for quite a few days now. I'm really sorry to have worried everyone. Gore, there's a notable character of absence from the scene in Nexus's father.
Yeah, where? What the fuck? Where?
Are you asking that in character?
No.
Okay.
She'll just look to the medic and Diana really just Theon them. Any word on Cedric?
Theon will speak up. I have alerted him. He is making his way here as we speak.
I'll get tea or milk, juice, something. What do you want, Nexus? She says, like, finally letting him go.
Oh, water sounds good. Actually, I'm quite thirsty.
Cool. If there wasn't already a water pitcher in the room, or if there was, whether it's full, whatever, she's taking it and she's gonna dip.
There would be one there at the bedside. It seems
Good,
like
she's gonna freshen it up.
It seems like the cleric who is there looking over him probably brought it in with her.
Mm-hmm.
You see that there is a water pitcher as well as what looks to be like a small bucket that it seems like she's been dipping a rag in there probably to wet his forehead.
Oh, water pitcher though is drinking water, yes? Or
Yes,
is it
the pitcher is drinking water. There's just also a bucket with water for the towel that she has for him.
Can I use shape water to put some ice cubes in there and chill it up?
Yeah, sure, if you want.
Cool. Pool water for the sick boy.
He takes it kindly, or he takes it smiling, and he begins to drink from it. And as he's sipping from it, a few of you would hear the sound of running footsteps coming from down the hallway, and it's not long. It's mere moments before Cedric bursts in, panting through the door. Nexus! Dad!
About time. This is gritty, like a small. It's friendly.
Yeah.
Not a fuck you. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
Lucy, you have some explaining to do.
I was in Zorn.
He was, actually.
Yeah.
Some of y'all may remember that he was actually currently making the efforts to bring Amadeus into town. Get him confined within the grounds of the castle. More on that later. But he quickly rushes to Nexus's bedside, and Nexus actually begins to, like, climb out of bed, and the cleric seems very like, oh, sweetheart, no, you need to... please, just take it slow, as Cedric takes his boy in a hug and nearly begins to smother him. It's a very heartwarming scene. Let me actually change your music a little bit. Let's see. I want this one, methinks. No.
Low and steady, Nexus.
That's fine. You can see Corey tears actually begin to well up in Nexus's eyes, as well as Cedric's, when Nexus simply goes, I was scared you wouldn't come back. You had been gone for so long. To which Cedric holds his son tighter. I know, son. I'm so sorry. I had a dream, Dad. I was older. I was king. But I wasn't a good king. I was strong. Really strong. Maybe the strongest. I made everyone fear me so that no one would even think about opposing me. I ruled through fear and malice. The kindest thing I did was kill those who wouldn't stand with me. Every tool had its purpose, and those that didn't fit were discarded. They called me Prime, Dad. It was me, but it wasn't. I don't want to be that. I want to be a kind king, a good king. I want to nurture this place and the people in it. I want to protect those I care about. As Nexus, tears begin to fall down his face. Cedric's as well. You show me how to be a good king, Dad. Cedric, riddled with tears, goes, yes, of course I will, my boy. Just don't leave me again. I won't, Dad. I'll try not to. Cedric will look to Garrett. Thank you for staying with him. Garrett, a little taken, seemingly a little overwhelmed by the scene, simply nods. I'm sorry that I let him push himself. am. I'll
This
leave
is
you
a
two
little
be.
outside of your control.
That's what I'm trying to believe. If any of you need me, come find me. I'm going to take a walk. And unless anyone says anything to him or stops him, Garrett will begin to leave.
Carl will just thank him again before he goes.
He'll nod and he'll kind of firmly grasp your shoulder. And he'll lean in and he'll say quietly in your ear, "Don't let that boy go, no matter what."
Or he nods.
He'll kind of, as he's leaving the room, he'll give your group firm gestures, putting his hands on y'all's shoulders, affirming nods, and he will make his way out. Yes, Flip?
I'm trying to remember way back when we had the bar episode, how much Flit knows about Garrett's relationship with Ariana.
Without having to dive too far back, I'll just address it above game. It's no secret that the two loved each other quite fiercely. Garrett was planning to, once everything had calmed down, was planning to propose to Ariana, and that fell through because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
He is still currently unaware of the scene that occurred between your group and Ariana in your last encounter.
That's what I was thinking about. Flit's going to kind of, as Garrett kind of puts a hand on Flit's shoulder, Flit's going to put a hand on his hand and is going to say, "You can talk to us later. We have something we think you should know."
He'll nod. Come find me before nightfall. You'll likely find me in the garden.
Right then.
He'll nod and he'll make his way out. Cedric will turn to the cleric at his side. Is he alright to leave his bed? Well, my liege, he's stable, and surprisingly, there's been little detriment to his physical body from being confined to the bed for several days. I'd recommend taking it slow, but yes, he is well and fit. Cedric will nod and smile. I think if it's alright with you, he says, looking to Theon, I'd like to spend some time with my boy. Theon will nod. I'll take care of operations in your stead, my liege. Thank you, Theon. Theon will nod. And as he begins to leave, he kind of mentions to your group, let's let the two be for now, unless you have conversation to make with them.
but she did want to at least give Nexus a hug.
Mm-hmm.
I have a visual. Did anyone ever see the game plan with Dwayne Johnson?
I'm sorry?
The one
Apparently,
with the
you
little
know what I'm
kid?
talking about. Tar, if you've seen the movie, them in the hospital room and them all leaving.
Pug, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not seen the 2000 hit family comedy movie The Game Plan since it came out in 2007. So no, I'm afraid I don't remember that scene.
It's okay because he.
I
has
remember the
basically
girl
he
in that
has a-
movie
he's a
almost
kid.
dying from her peanut allergy.
Yes. So when they're like a hospital room, whatever, there's like a deep conversation that happens, like plot. So they're like, "Hey, we need a minute," and then they turn and to the whole crowd of guys who'd come in there with like stuffed animals and shit. Drop it off like respectfully, and then the one guy just drops a whole armful of teddy bears. We're leaving. I feel like that's what we did.
Sure.
Doesn't matter. It was just stupid. I didn't know if anyone would remember.
I sure don't. Might go back and rewatch that movie now. Things for later.
I do recommend. I like that.
But
movie.
Punk, my follow-up question, have you seen the hit Dwayne Johnson movie, The Tooth Fairy?
No. Fair's fair.
Moving on.
Yeah, no, Cora will just give him Nexus another squeeze and a kiss on the head.
Mhm. Does anyone else have anything they wish to say or do before we move on from this moment? Going once. Going twice. Excellent. As a few of you begin to leave, those of you with higher passive perception would hear, as you're kind of walking away, a slightly worried tone from Nexus, where he mentions that apparently he had promised to meet Valeria what would have been a few days ago, several days ago, and then this happened, and so he wasn't able to.
Aw, missed his date.
And a few of you would hear Cedric mention that he would take Nexus to go see her.
Aww.
Does Valeria's mom even know? Like, I know she knows that Valeria and Nexus have been having playdates. Does she know that Nexus is the prince?
Yes. That would have been the first thing that was established.
Introductory fruit basket, flower basket. Hello! You are now a playmate of the prince. What's up?
She's gonna have a fucking heart attack when the actual king brings him to his playdate.
Oh,
That'd be funny. I want to see. Oh, can Corey
she's
pay to see
certainly
it?
gonna be surprised. Don't worry, we'll get to it.
I hope so.
But it is beginning to get into the late afternoon, slowly encroaching upon the evening. I believe Flit, as well as anyone else who wants to be involved, wanted to talk with Garrett about the Ariana situation.
Yes. Anyone else want to come with?
To be honest, I got flashbang for a minute. What happened?
You got flashbanged. Are the cops there? Are you being arrested?
You can't prove anything.
That's the response that I wanted.
we're gonna go. Flit's gonna go talk to Garrett about Ariana, the Ariana situation. Did you want to tag along?
Anyone who wants to tag along on this can. It's just Flit is going to begin this conversation with Garrett.
Reluctantly,
So-
yes. I don't want to be a fly on the wall for their adorableness, but that will be.
I mean, Corey, if you want to be a fly on the wall, I will certainly allow it. I've written out what they're going to do in the event that somebody wanted to be a fly on the wall. So if you want to do that, please feel free.
Sarah will go with Flit just to listen in.
Okay.
Yeah, Corey will go with Flit too.
Are you
I
positive?
want to, but I'll find out later.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nexus usually tells Corey things.
Okay. Anyone else going to attend this conversation with Garrett? I would believe that Diana would tag along for it. Lily, Rovan?
Lily would probably tag along just to listen.
Excellent. Rovan?
I think Ravon's actually going to stay behind. Kind of stay out of the conversation, considering Ariana's history with Garrett.
Understood. Is Rovan just going to kind of take it chill, or is he going to actually do something?
He'll try to busy himself. Mostly just like physical exercise and whatnot. You know, just keep his mind off of things. Especially after hearing the whole crime thing.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Okay. The rest of you will go and seek out Garrett, who has returned back to the garden, as he said he would. And for once, since you all have known Garrett for quite some time, and there have only been two, count them on one hand, that many number of moments where you have seen him without his gear or his weapons, but he seems to have like fully stripped himself of like his gear, pouches, his weapons, and have seemingly just kind of cast them aside and is sitting in the grass.
Flip will come up and just kind of sit beside him. Glad Nexus is okay. At least as okay as he can be, considering.
I shouldn't have let him push himself.
We didn't exactly know that was going to happen. It's not. It was a mistake, but it's not something that regret is going to fix.
He takes a deep breath. You're likely right. But let me dwell on that. You mentioned that you had something you wished to speak to me about.
Yeah, when we were in Zorn in our final battle, Ariana was there.
He seems to straighten up a bit at the mention of Ariana's name.
Our travels and dealings with the brands gave us a little insight, and we noticed one on Ariana's, which Corvin was quick to dispel. But when we did, Ariana's sentience came back. She was herself for a little bit.
He seems to be very attentive as you're saying this, and he seems hopeful when you mention that her sentience returned, even momentarily. But it's the mention that it was only temporary that he seems to sort of slink back to his original state. So she's still lost to us then.
Lost, but able to be found again at least. We think that whatever Alrock is doing to her, when we dispelled the brand, Alrock got teleported her out of there. But when we did, she was. Flit looks to the side, begging for release, let's say. But the important thing here is that we were able to deal with the brand, and we were able to get her back to sentience. As long as we get Alrock out of the way, we should be able to bring her back. We have unfortunately seen what happens when someone is too far gone, and she was not there.
He seemingly almost sort of loses focus for a moment. He kind of looks off to the side. Oh, Rory. You deserved a better fate than this. And then he seems to snap back to you. Do you know where he is?
No. We don't know where either of them are. Smart guess would be in their stronghold, but
This paradigm you previously mentioned, correct?
indeed. The smart money is that they're there for some reason.
You see Flit as he begins to dig into the collar of his shirt, and he pulls out a very small, thin silver chain necklace. One that does not fit the rough and gruff exterior of this man. It's very fine, it's very pristine. You get the impression it's probably not his. There's what appears to be a holy symbol at the end of it. Flit, make me a religion check. In fact, anyone who wants to, as there are other parties present for this conversation.
Religion. That's a 17.
Anyone else?
Pulling up my sheet. 5.
Last chance for anyone who wants to.
Which
Lily, you have the inkling that you've seen this symbol before, but you can't quite place where. Corey and Flit, you recall where you've seen this symbol before. It was the same symbol that Aldrich of the Chroma Guard wields. The symbol of the god of protection, Helm. He seems to grasp it tightly. He closes his eyes for a moment and almost seems to you would think utter a prayer, but you guys know that Garrett is not a religious man. Not one who beckons the gods like some others would. When you go to Paradigm, whenever this final assault begins, you call on me. I will stand by your side. I'll hunt down this vile wretch, and I will tear his tongue from his throat.
Well, we would be honored by your presence, but as far as destroying Elrock,
There is a line.
yeah, maybe y'all could section out body parts.
Just a group stomp I'd settle for.
Vile wizard.
Just a space bag of bones.
He thinks he can play God. I'll show him fear that only devils can invoke.
He deserves it. Certainly deserves it after what we've seen. What he's done. I'll be right there beside you, helping to guide your blade.
He nods. If it's all the same to you, then I'm going to go prepare. I need a few things.
I wish you the best of luck in your preparations. And Foot will offer her a hand.
He'll take it. You help him off the ground, and despite he's got a lean, athletic frame. He is older, definitely, but he's got some heft to him. He's a big boy.
Ugh.
He's dense, you could say. He kneels down and he begins to dig into his pouches and pulls out what appears to be a coin purse. After pulling out this coin purse, he turns to your group and he nods. I'll be ready when you are. Just call upon me. And he will turn and he will leave the garden, leaving the rest of his gear where it lay, but moving
Really?
with a sense of purpose.
Poor gardener's gonna come out and be like, again? Oh!
No one respects their gear around here. Gosh.
It's actually the in-house druid. I'm sick of this Metal Gear.
Above game, y'all have lit a little bit of a fire in Garrett's butt. He's going to go prepare. And I am marking something down for him.
Nice.
But as the afternoon begins to turn into a lull and the evening comes around, you guys have done a lot today. So if it's all the same to you, I think we will wrap up this day and we will retire for the evening if that works for everyone.
Absolutely.
Will he be okay? Is he too sad?
Who, Garrett?
Yeah.
Oh, He's not sad, don't you worry.
Good.
Yep, J. Frost hit it right on the head. He angry.
I know, but
He mage.
I just want to talk, load shotgun. I just want to talk.
Honestly,
talk.
yeah, kinda.
yeah, good.
He
Okay.
is
Just making
that
sure he was okay.
fuming, quiet anger.
Mm.
But I have, as the day winds down and you all bring yourselves to a long rest, I have a scene I need to play. Flip. You drift off to sleep. You have a lot of thoughts racking your brain right now. You think about your outburst on the party earlier in the day, your conversation with Toshi, coming back and making amends, having a little bit of fun time with a few of your friends. Now your group has been given this ancient knowledge about the gods and the civilization that came before in the Illidians. Nexus woke back up. It's been one hell of a day. Sleep quickly finds you. You begin to dream, or what you think might be a dream, but you're not entirely sure. You find yourself in a familiar place. A building overlooking a canyon in the midst of a mountain range. It's very foggy right now, but you know where you are. You are in the Eternity Seer's realm. You don't know how you got here or why you're here. You could have sworn you went to sleep, and maybe you are in a dream, but this feels more than that. You instinctively begin to take your steps forward. If you're in the realm of the Eternity Seer, he has to be around here somewhere, and sure enough, it's only a few moments before you see, standing on the edge of the precipice, looking out into the fog, is the wizened old figure of the Eternity Seer. Apologies for bringing you here. I merely wished to see how you were doing.
I appreciate the concern. You should know that that's a loaded question right now. So much has happened in such a short time. I don't even know where to begin.
'Tis often for those in your situation. Adventurers, heroes. I've seen it time and time again. I merely wanted to ask you, once your grand adventure is over, what do you intend to do?
Lit sighs and kind of looks off into the distance. I've given it some thought. And where I was before I came to this realm in the villas, locked away, how it was offered up, how I was the sacrifice, meeting my friends. I feel like my life really began when I was with everyone on our adventure. And while I may not be as active, I'd still like to do my part to protect the realm. Reno does what he can, protecting all the strangeness in the world. That's how we met. That's how I met Toshi. Fang and her order in keeping the wild safe for a long time. My friends and the rest of Exalia Regalia can deal with problems as they pop up. I think I'd like to see about somewhere in the middle of all that. But more than anything else, I have a friend who has made a decision. And I want to make sure that decision is honored. Both at the moment that it is made and after. I want to see my village prosper. For them and for him. I want to be making sure that no harm comes to them or the realm that they stand in. I want to see that my friends are kept safe from any and oncoming threats. And I want to make sure that everyone's happy. Not fake happy like I used to be, but actually fulfilled, genuinely. I suppose it's a lot to ask, but there's a lot of future ahead. I'm sure I can find time to fit it all in.
A fine answer. There is no shame in ambition. And I'm sure you know that the result of this conflict, your friend's conflict, it will change the course of this world.
Yeah, it will. I just hope that it's for the better.
You and your friends have given me a lot to think on. Typically, it is my duty to observe, remain impartial. Your story and the stories of your friends are most interesting. Some would say inspiring. And, well, you've answered one of my questions, which those are often rare. So I suppose I can impart knowledge to one in need of answers. Flit, you get one question.
Oh, fuck.
Take as much time as you need to think on it. If you want, I'll even let you discuss it with your group above game. But you get one question.
What do you guys think? I've got a question in mind, but I'm open to other suggestions.
If you have a question in mind, how about you DM it to me? And I will let you know if it's a good question or not. Because I don't want you asking something that you may already have the answer for.
Fair enough. Give me a second.
I am
Looking at
perceiving.
names.
That is a very good question.
All right. Then,
CG gets good noodle points.
thank you. Does anyone else have any ideas before we go with this?
If you have your question,
For Punk, I'm asking basically one rules-free question and answer about anything right now. I'm just seeing if anyone else has ideas. I've got one, but if anyone has one better, I thought I'd open. Tard offered to open the table.
CG is essentially getting the answer to a commune question, except instead of commune being a yes or no question, I have to give a truthful answer. This is basically the divination spell. You don't have to answer that, CG.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my lips tight.
Any thoughts, gang?
Knowing CG is probably something good, but
Yeah.
I trust CG.
Yeah, I got
This
nothing.
guy.
That's a lot of faith.
that's it. My question would be about fucking up Marissa or Elrock, but I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah,
those
so
are
I trust CG.
Those are pretty good.
The only
I-
thing I could think of would be, how do we win this upcoming final fight?
I mean, yeah, but if you ask a vague question like that, you might get something like, "You fight as hard as you
Teamwork!
can." Yeah.
Friendship.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with the idea I had then. Flit thinks about it for a second. Strokes her chin. What is the purpose of the artificial union of Lunas and Cardera?
A meridian union. It often amplifies the ambient magics in the world, in the realm, as well as those embedded in traditional casters. Those skilled enough, however, can reach near godlike ability, given the time, the preparation, the knowledge, and the resources. Aurelia Ashburn seeks to use the Meridian Union to shatter the Divine Gate.
Oh. I'm taking notes.
Flit. a light bulb goes off in your head. The gods often separate themselves from the events of man, remaining impartial, but in very rare circumstances, like when the fate of the world isn't at risk, they have been known to get involved, even sometimes directly. Why didn't the gods get involved in the future that you guys saw?
Yup. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, that explains a lot. That's why they weren't in the future. That's why everyone was silent. That's even why he orchestrated that power struggle in hell. It was major, the only major plane that could interfere.
When the gods are removed from the follies of man, only devils remain. Once they too are removed, man reigns supreme.
Alex,
Thus,
talk about.
the strongest amongst them go unimpeded. Your other presumptions have been correct about the Web of Erebus Prime. That is the purpose of the artificial moon. All these things, the Divine Gate, the Web of Erebus Prime, it all comes to utilizing this meridian union that Aurelia Ashburn has created.
More than anything, we need to stop it. Or at the very least, stop the Union, stop her, stop everything. We can't let this future come to pass. Flit stops for a second and then makes note of the Eternity Seer. I thank you for this information. I don't know if there's a cost or if this was your choice.
He will, as you're in the middle of speaking, he will actually turn to you and he will put his hand on your shoulder. Simply be yourself. Be a guiding light for those trapped in darkness.
She smiles at that. I guess the only thing anyone can ever be is themselves. I'll just have to make sure that I'm very good at it.
Do your best.
Thank
Though,
you again.
don't think of me. I'm just an old man with a lot more knowledge than one man should have. He smiles, and Flit, you feel yourself begin to drift again, and you awaken in your bed, in your room. Above game, that was probably one of the best questions you could have asked.
Yeah!
Like, not even a fucking joke.
Oh, do you see G had it in the bag?
Y'all were right to put your faith in him.
Don't, my heart!
As usual.
Thank you, friends.
quick clarifying question.
Mm-hmm.
You said Divine Gate. That
Mhm.
is different from the Web of Erebus, correct?
Correct. So the Divine Gate is a... The Divine Gate is not necessarily a physical thing and more of... Well, it is technically a physical thing, but it's the gate, quote unquote, that separates the gods and the plane of the gods from the plane of man. Basically, Aurelia Ashburn plans to sever the connection between the material plane and the gods. The Web of
So the
Erebus...
gods.
The Web of Erebus is mainly a ritual using powerful artifacts to contain, in this circumstance, Normandyr. It's a confinement ritual. But based on what he said, the Eternity Seer, it can be presumed that all these things... Oh my god. We're back. Hi. Okay, y'all should be able to hear them now. For some reason, the only thing it messed with in OBS was... The only thing it messed with in OBS is that it turned off the desktop audio.
Weird.
That was a weird reset. That was just.
That was very weird. But hey, we're back. I believe we're good now.
Welcome to Exactly Regalia's funniest home videos.
And I'm gonna sit here and hope that y'all could hear everyone the whole time, before the crash.
I'm going to restate my question specifically for the VOD's sake.
Yes.
My question was, if the Divine Gate is taken down, will the gods just cease to exist, or will they walk among men?
Yes, and my answer to that was, that neither of those will occur. They will be confined to the divine plane. And then I use a metaphor, specifically referencing Mount Olympus, in that if you imagine that the gods were confined to Mount Olympus and could not leave, that's basically the situation you're looking at. They still exist, but they cannot leave. Give me a moment. I'm
All
now
right.
just checking back in the VOD.
I just did.
Okay, great. Yeah, so it just disabled desktop audio on the reset for whatever reason. Excellent. Yeah, don't know what that was about, but we seem to be good now, so we are going to proceed. So, Flit, you awaken the next morning. You all begin to awaken the next morning. Corey, you specifically, you awaken to see that Diana is not at your side like she traditionally is. She is over at her writing desk and seems to be heavily, like, absorbed in the book that she was given, what you now know to be the index. Some
Can I do a check to see if she slept last night?
You can, sure. You want to roll me an insight check?
Here. 26?
Given that she is very heavily absorbed in this book and the amount of papers and writings that covered the desk, you presume probably not.
He's gonna get up and assemble some supplies, namely tea or coffee, a warm rag, and some folders to put those papers in. and come up behind her with a cup.
Mm-hmm.
A cuppa.
You
Earth to your ladyship. She's just holding the steaming cup, not by her face, but like nearby.
you almost like startle her for a moment as you come up behind her. God, I'm sorry. Thank you. I've been heavily involved, absorbed in this book.
Did not sleep.
No. Everything is just so different, but it all feels right. Like this is how things are supposed to be, but I can't comprehend telling a world of religion that everything we've worshipped is wrong, and even so, this is from thousands of years ago. Is any of this even right anymore? I've gone over it again and again. It's nearly one for one to the traditional Vanir pantheon, but I have yet to determine if these gods in this book, if they're actually our gods. But this is all so much. And then there's the court of dragons. Why are they seemingly the same as they were thousands of years ago? I just need something that can help us. And you can see she's becoming more and more frustrated. She makes a brisk movement, and you see a few of the papers like fall off the table onto the floor.
Far's gonna steady her hand. Diana's hand. Take this cup. And she's gonna drop the warm rag on her top of her head. Take a second. You have been looking at it a long time. Take just a second. And she'll pick up the papers that fell.
She kind of slumps back a little bit, her head kind of dangling over the back of the chair. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry. Truthfully, I can't sleep. My mind can't settle. I keep asking myself, who am I? Am I Diana LeBlanc? And it's kind of, at this point, she begins to sit up straight again. Am I Azura Dorn? Who even was Azura Dorn? Why does she feel so familiar, like an old memory? Corey, I looked in her eyes and I saw something that no mirror had ever shown me before. I saw me. It was like I had been missing some piece of myself, and after years of searching, I found it. And even now, as it smiles back and stares at me, I don't know if that piece really belongs to me. Have I been living a lie? Have I just been living somebody else's legacy? Or am I this person that I never knew? I'm 33 and I'm suffering an existential crisis.
Diana. A legacy is just the shape of someone's footprints that's walked a path before you. You're Azura Dorn shaped, maybe. But I know who I fought with. I know who I fell in love with.
You see that her eyes are beginning to well up a bit, seemingly frustrated, but she does crack a small smile. She reaches over and she takes your hand.
Cora will let her and then just be it like at a hug. I think like not like she's still sitting, so like, you know, grabbing her at the waist.
Mm-hmm. I just really need answers. After all this is said and done, I've decided that I'm going to seek out the sacred temples and find out who I am supposed to be. And I was hoping that maybe you would want to come with me. I don't know how long it will take. I don't know what other responsibilities we'll have, but I feel like this is something I need to do.
I think so too. And I know my place is always near you.
She smiles, and she begins to wrap you in a gentle hug, and as you two embrace, there is a tenseness that seems to melt away from her as you two just kind of stand there enjoying the presence of each other's company for a few moments. Thank you for always looking out for me.
You're very welcome.
The moment carries on for a few moments, a few minutes. You two just sort of take a small bit of time and just enjoy each other's company. No other thoughts, no other weight of the world scenarios. Just two people who fell in love. Eventually, the embrace ends as all things do, and you two begin to get ready for the day. She finally sets aside the book, and it's kind of at that moment where she realizes that she should probably rest. And
Lay down, dear heart.
I'll try. I can't promise I'll find sleep, but I will try.
Just lay down and try. Or we'll pull the curtains, make it dark as she can.
Diana is going to rest for a while, but you are free to pursue the rest of the day as you see fit. And so you take your leave. We'll come back to you. Because I know what you want to do.
Yes.
You've got a child to go console.
My son is awake.
We are going to cut to Lily. Lily,
That's me.
you were up bright and early. You've got two major projects in the works. One that you are currently planning. One that you retrieve a very specific item for. Two very specific items for. And as you kind of begin to think, you've been since you started pursuing it yesterday, you've been really trying to think about how to research Argona. Because you know about her, but you don't really know about her. You could always ask your friend Corey or Diana or anyone who's capable of casting legend lore to give you information. And a thought occurs to you. The thought is, fuck those people who are shooting fireworks. It's fucking Sunday. It's the 7th. Fuck you.
That's how I feel.
How many did you fucking buy? Fuck you.
Mood.
Been nonstop since it's just like last year. It's been a fucking week. Every night.
My neighbor bought $1,000 worth of fireworks, so please, I understand.
Holy shit.
I'm so over it.
I envy their disposable income,
I do too.
not their lack of intellect.
I'm so over it, dude.
I'm calling it lack of intellect. Who knows?
They'll pay for it. They'll pay for it in.
Plus,
Well,
the cops aren't as distracted nowadays after the 4th. They have time to come investigate you.
I was just gonna say they'll probably lose a couple fingers in the pursuit of their fireworks fun.
My current theory is it's after the 4th, so people have now gotten a hold of commercial fireworks.
Chat, if you begin to hear the fireworks in the background, I do profusely apologize. Still not as bad as last year. Last year it went on for 10 days. That was a good time. Anyways,
Gay shit.
yes. A thought occurs to you. You met Argona. That's how you came into possession of the opal. But if Argona's dead, she has been for a long time, either two scenarios. She's been brought back for whatever reason, or her spirit is still presiding in the material plane. And you know someone who's done a lot of work with spirits.
I do.
God, what in the fuck? Can y'all fucking chill? Sorry.
For what it's
I
worth,
had
it's
to
not
take my
coming
headphones
through.
off for a moment because I couldn't tell if it was fireworks or rain. And it was definitely fireworks. And I was really hoping it was rain.
Distracted every 2 seconds, just like a true dog.
But
Bark, 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 bark.
I presume you would like to go seek out this person.
Yes!
It takes you just a little bit of time, but you are able to track down one Kieran Carlisle. Someone who has become well acquainted with the spirits of the material plane. You find them, and they greet you warmly. Oh, hi Lily. It's been a little while.
Lily will not hesitate to give Kieran a hug.
She will accept it. She will return it.
Oh, things have been so hectic.
Yeah, I've heard.
I need a vacation after this.
I think we all do.
Well, I mean... And Lily's gonna, like, hint toward the fact that she'll be getting a vacation anyway at some point. You know, seeing as she has to plan a honeymoon.
Lily, that hasn't happened yet.
Lily still has to plan things.
She can still reject you. No, I'm just kidding.
You wouldn't do that to me!
That would
What?
be the ultimate. That would be the
I would not come
ultimate
back for
trauma
campaign 2
and-
if you did that to me. I wouldn't.
That would be the ultimate trauma induction.
Betrayal at its fucking highest degree.
Oh, not her proposal, cheap prost.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Although you're good at those.
Persuasion?
No, I'm making a joke.
I'm not good
God.
at persuasion. I'm not charismatic.
God,
you
those are
were.
hold on. I'll see if those come up in OBS.
I thought you were.
We haven't been able to hear them on our end.
Oh, chat can absolutely hear them. Christ. All right. Well, moving on. Well, congrats. And I will be expecting an invitation. But I presume that's not what you came to talk to me about.
No, I actually had a question.
Okay. I likely have an answer.
I feel like I may be onto something. Trying to get rid of Oz.
The nicest way possible. This hate boner he has for me and my family.
It is Wrath Month.
It is.
He's tied to his love for Argona. And last I checked, she had died. But I feel like if I could, I don't know, talk to her or bring her back or something to help deal with Oz.
I see what you're getting at. You want me to help contact her spirit, provided she's still dead.
Yes.
I can do that. Now, based on the information you've given me, Oz has been... He was revived after a very, very long time, a few centuries. Presumably, if Argona was brought back, that would be incredible. Oh my god, shut up. Damn. Sorry. Just
Okay.
bang, 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 bang.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I know
Jesus,
it's really annoying
dude.
for you, Tart, but for us, we can't really hear. I don't think we
Yes.
can really hear. I know I can't.
No,
so
I
it's more
apologize.
just like the crazy old man just stop yelling at me. It's like, and I get every time I'm like,
Goddamn
yeah.
kids shooting off your
Oh, it's
fire
there.
works.
There's a
Piper, put your tea down.
Back in my
What
day,
show-
we
what
had to
show is
work
that?
for our fire.
What show is that? That chick was pretending like be crazy, like to avoid getting married. Oh god, I love that tea. But yeah, no, like
there's a fucking dwarf outside the castle, which is like, I'm gonna enjoy my new wand of magic missiles.
Anyways.
fish whiz bangs.
Well, presumably, it would have taken very powerful magic to bring someone who's been gone as long as Oz. The same could be said for this Argona, but as far as I can tell, and this is not to say anything about Argona's character, Oz is brought back with a specific purpose. I can't see why they would bring back Argona as well and then separate the two of them, if that makes sense. So I am going to act under the presumption that she is still gone and her spirit still resides here in the material plane, which is good for us, actually, because if she had been gone for this long, it would have been nearly impossible to speak with them if they had ventured into the afterlife. But if their soul has remained here in the material plane, then it's possible, I'm not saying I'm a miracle worker, but I could certainly try. The biggest thing I would need, and this might be a big ask, I would need the body. Or at least, if we can figure out where she was buried, if she was buried. Lily, make me a history check with advantage.
Okay. Oh, hey, I already had it open. It was just on a different monitor. I smart. Oh, it danced around that 20.
It did.
But I still got a dirty 20.
Lily, you kind of begin to think of your original interaction with Argona, and where specifically that took place. You remember meeting her in a sort of run-down, almost like shop, her fortune-telling shop. But upon returning back to that location to maybe speak with her again, it was an empty lot, one that had been kind of taken by trees and vines. That maybe it could be something. It's a gamble, but you don't have a lot of other options.
Lily at this point is willing to do whatever it takes to try to figure something out. Because she is absolutely tired of this thorn in her side. So the idea is to go back to where I first met Argona with Kieran.
If that is what you wish to do.
It seems like the most likely lead, and she also has the opal. It's connected to Dandelion.
Excellent. Kieran says, okay, let me gather a few things and we can head out. It will take roughly 10 to 15 minutes. But you notice that she gathers a separate bag from what you're normally used to seeing her with. She normally has a similar bag to like what you carry, a bag for her gear, but this almost looks more like what a bag of holding would look like, except with more pouches on the side. She sort of gestures to it. I've got a few things to help out with the ritual, everything that I'm going to need if we are to reach out to her spirit, provided her spirit is there.
I hope you know how much I appreciate this.
She smiles. Just make sure I get an extra good seat at the wedding.
I don't think you'll have to worry about that.
She smiles. The two of you will leave, and Lily, you will take Kieran back to where you originally met Argona. It is a smaller, empty lot that has been overrun isn't quite the word, but definitely taken by trees and brush. It looks like this area hasn't really been tended to, and seeing as it's in the midst of a less than busy area, you can kind of understand why. I would like an investigation check. Kieran will assist.
So I get advantage.
Mm-hmm. As I almost choke on my water.
Nat 20!
Let's go! Give me a moment. As I'm trying not to die.
Well, don't die, forehead.
Oh, I'm trying. Every day is a struggle. You begin to look down at the grass, the foliage, and you begin to do what you presume nobody has done in quite some time, and begin to make your way through it. It isn't long before you find small stone, they almost seem like structures. And then you quickly realize they're headstones. Lily, this is a graveyard. A small one at that, but it is a graveyard that hasn't been tended to in a long time.
Lily will first off tend to the headstones, like clearing them off. Respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
Brain word.
Trimming.
Is she able to read them?
They're quite old. They've definitely been through the test of time, which you frankly, in this circumstance, given what you're seeing, is not a surprise to you. The first one, the initial one that you find is just a somebody, John Green, that you don't recognize the name of. As you begin to cut through more and more of this foliage, Kieran's kind of helping you move it off away from this graveyard, and she says to you, "This makes sense that it's a graveyard. I can sense the residual connection to the spirit realm here. If her body is here, this will be a good place to do it." And Lily, with your natural 20, as you begin to cut through this foliage, as you begin to find more and more headstones, you find roughly 10 in total. And then on the 11th, you find one that has definitely seen the test of time more than the others. You presume that maybe it was the first one laid here. And you see a very old scrawled name, Argona Timarin. Spelling for that is in lore drops.
Kieran, I think I found her.
As you look upon the headstone, the inscription reads, Argona Timarin, the kindest of us all, taken before her time. Kieran comes up to you, and she too reads the headstone and goes, "Okay, good." She kneels down and she begins to feel the dirt, the grass underneath. And it looks like the grave hasn't been disturbed. If she was buried here, I can presume she still lays here. That's good. That will do. I need to set up a few things. It would actually help if we could clear away a bit more of this foliage while I'm preparing.
Without hesitation, Lily will start clearing up whatever she can.
I feel like Lily has done a bit of yard work in her time. She is a homeowner after all.
I also have 18 strength. I'm a capable 3'2".
But you begin to cut away a lot of the excess foliage, the vines. There's a small tree that has sprouted that you are able to actually pretty easily dig up the roots in the base of it and move it to a more suitable area in a small park around the corner. as you're working, Kieran begins to set up candles, incense, and she lays out this, you could call it a blanket, but it's almost more of, how do I describe this? Not quite a quilt, but it's definitely a blanket-like material that has quite an intricate design, seemingly painted on it. Lily, make me just a general intelligence check. The sigil, the symbol that has been painted on this blanket, we'll just call it a blanket, a quilt. You can see that it has to be some very special paint, considering that it is shining like glitter. Do you know that some magical gems are mixed in with paint to give the paint magical properties? You presume that this might be a case like that. The sigil itself, you remember seeing it from when you guys first met Kieran, and she set up this beautiful circle in the midst of Mount Doomhorn, inside the ruins of the research station that was in less than ideal circumstances near the top of the mountain. It was a sigil, a symbol that allowed her to perceive, and in some circumstances even contact with the residual spirits there. Though this seems to be ever so slightly changed, almost like a variant on the original circle that you saw before. She takes this quilt and lays it across the ground where the headstone rests, and just in front of it. You presume from the placement she's specifically looking for it to be above where the body would be buried. After a few more minutes setting up some what appear to be gems and incense and more candles, she says to you, "Okay, I think I am ready whenever you are. Now, before we engage with this, I don't know. You met a whatever interaction you had with Argona originally, this Argona. I can't promise that this will be like what you saw before. Spirits sometimes act almost similarly to illusions. The magics I provide allow us to see the truest versions of themselves, rather than what in some situations they wish for us to see. Some spirits come forth and it turns out that they are angry, malevolent spirits. I don't think this will be the case, but I just want to prepare you for anything, because I don't know what's going to happen."
She wanted me to have the opal. I have a feeling that she wants an end to it too.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then I'll have you stand next to me and we will begin.
Lily will take her place next to Kieran. And she'll probably bring out Dandelion as well and just kind of rest it on the ground.
Kieran takes a step, a placement just at the head of the sigil that she's put before her, facing the headstone. She takes her staff and you see that she has set up this almost like web of twine along the end of it. It almost is resemblant. It shares a resemblance to that of almost a dream catcher. There is a shift in the air, a cold breeze that wafts through. At first you think it might be your imagination, but you see the flames of the candles flicker. You see the clothes, the robes on Kieran's person, they rustle and ruffle. Her eyes begin to glow this iridescent light blue as she begins to conjure this magic. The area around you almost seems to dim in terms of light. It becomes dark, almost like you're in the midst of a very intense thunderstorm, but the candles glow rather than standard yellow flame, they almost glow white. It gives you a warm, protected feeling. Kieran begins to utter some sort of incantation, one that, as you don't speak Druidic, you cannot quite understand, but you do hear her utter the name Argona Timaran. Lily, you begin to see this almost wisp-like form almost congeal before you. A form, ethereal, begins to present itself to you. This beautiful, dark-skinned tiefling. As they begin to form more and more, their body, their image presents itself to you. And as the wind in this area seems to sweep around this circle, as it begins to bend the very fabrics of the ethereal plane, of the spirit realm, Kieran brings this spirit before you. The spirit opens their eyes. It is a gorgeous visage as Lily, you are presented with Argona Timaran.
Ooh. Everyone is hot in your game.
Well, yeah, everyone's hot in
To
D&D.
torture us. Yeah.
Everyone's hot in D&D. Hello?
Correct.
That's a very bisexual thing to say.
It's true.
Look, D&D is no longer just nerds in a basement. Now we're bisexual nerds. We're just out and about.
And as Argona Timaran appears before you, they look to you and they smile. It's you. Hello, Captain. And on that note, we're going to take our break.
Right.
Oh, I've been waiting for this for a hot minute.
Is this one of those things you planned and then I'm just too stupid to put two and two together?
No, this was something I wasn't sure if y'all would pursue this route, but I had it prepared some time ago in the event that y'all thought about it. So,
I'm
Thanks,
glad.
CG.
What are you talking about? You came up with the idea.
You shut up. You came to me with ideas. I'm not gonna take credit where credit isn't due. I'm not. I'm too. Nah. You can't. No.
but gamers, we are going to take a quick break. I need to refill on my water. Thank you to Sega and Sasquatch for the raids. I appreciate it. Welcome on in. If you've never been here before, my name is Faring Tart. I'm a Righty Doge tuber. I do D&D. I run this long-form homebrew game here called Exilia Regalia, or what was formerly known as War of the Shattered Sun. And I also, on the occasion, I do variety games. So, yeah, I hope you all had a good time over in Sasquatch and Sega streams. I hope it was a wonderful little bit of your evening, afternoon, morning, whatever current time zone you may be in. But we are going to take a quick break. We will be back in roughly about 5 minutes. And, yeah, we'll see you in a minute. And we are back. Alrighty. We're about to have a bit of a fun conversation. It is time. Let me find some good music for this. Some of that good shit.
Can you not? Please? You said that.
Some of that good shit.
I'm giving you a big frown.
Big Sadgers.
Big frown.
What is this?
It's promptly named the River Face.
I was about to say, why is it just called River Face?
Because I make this face when I am unhappy. Big sad.
But as we return back to our scene, Lily, you now are presented with the ethereal visage of Argona Timaran. Kieran seems to come out of this almost power engulfed stupor that she was in and seems to steady herself for a moment. I've built the connection, though it is difficult to maintain. I can give you a few minutes at most.
I understand and I appreciate it.
Argona looks to you. It pleases me that you sought me out.
Well, honestly, I didn't know what else to do.
You're seeking answers, then?
Answers that can actually lead us to peace. Hopefully.
Then you have questions for me. What can I tell you? You wish to know about me or Oz?
Both, really. Oz's vengeance has led to countless pain in my life. And I'm just ready for it to end.
I really am sorry for that. Oh, Oz. He meant well, truly. He always tried to hide his true profession from me, but I always knew better. He tried to justify what he was doing by silencing the corrupt politicians, spies, other criminals, etc. But ultimately, it was murder. He was trying to support us. Fortune telling is not a very profitable endeavor, especially when you have chronic illnesses, not to mention our... And you see that she visibly hesitates for a moment as she sort of places her hand on her stomach. Not to mention our baby boy that was on the way. We were going to name him Amnon. And then Petros happened. And I will give you spelling on that name. That is not a name you recognize.
Petros?
Petros was a corrupt city official. Another target in Oz's eye. One who used his power to subjugate the weak. He had a following of devoted humans that he used to push his blatantly racist agenda. Lily, as she says this, a thought kind of occurs to you. When you met Argona the first time, this was not the form of Argona that you met. Before, she was this still beautiful but human woman. You recall Kieran mentioning that this ritual she's casting provides as pure of a vision of a spirit as possible. Oz hunted the man down and slaughtered him in his home, alongside his wife and his 3 children. I don't think they were meant to be there, but you see she becomes visibly tense. I couldn't handle it anymore after that. He had crossed the line that could never be repaired. I loved him so much, but I couldn't sit by if he was going to start killing innocents. And thus I went to the city guard. And then she looks to you, and for a moment it's almost like she sees through you. You look just like Camellia did back then. She promised to protect me, but she also knew that I was the only person who could draw him out. They had no leads, and I was their only option. I reluctantly agreed to her plan and drew him into an ambush. Things were going well until Oz snapped. I had never seen such rage, malice in one's eye. A fight broke out between him and the city guard. I tried to stop him, and in doing so, I accidentally exposed myself to his poison. There was no saving me. He broke down and was quickly detained. My last moments were me bequeathing my spell casting focus onto Camellia. Do you still have it?
She picks up Dandelion. And kind of holds it out.
It's with me at all times now.
She smiles. I'm glad to hear that. Oz. Oh, Oz. This
I
is.
mean-
Go ahead.
I need to know how to stop this.
Argona approaches you, and she kneels down in front of you. She takes your hands, which hold Dandelion. Oz may very well be beyond saving, and I prepared for that outcome long ago. But I can no longer watch him suffer. I ask you, I implore you, if he's able to be saved, I ask that you try.
She takes a really deep breath.
I'll do what I can. But if I can't save him, I have to get rid of him.
I understand. And I don't fault you for that. I am so sorry for this curse that he has put upon your family, metaphorically. I can't help feel but partially responsible. And it's at this moment that Kieran actually comes to your side. I might have something that can help. The opal, it's within the confines of your sword, correct?
Yeah.
It's risky. But I might be able to bind her soul to the opal. You can hold on to it for as long as you need. And when the time comes, you may be able to contact her, summon her again. But know that if you do, afterwards, she'll remain for a few minutes, but then her spirit will be lost.
If that would be okay.
She smiles. Allowing me to speak with him one more time would be the greatest service anyone has ever bestowed upon me. Do this for me, and I promise I will make it count.
She nods.
If it means keeping the ones I love safe. I'm more than willing to do whatever it takes.
I physically cannot do this without permission from the spirit in question, she says, looking to Argona. You have my permission, Kieran Carlyle, and my thanks. Kieran takes a big breath. Okay. May I? She says, gesturing for Dandelion.
Lily will hand her over softly.
Kieran takes Dandelion and almost hesitantly, carefully steps over to the center of the glyph she has placed down before you two. And she places the sword directly in the midst of it. She steps back to where she was. She takes another deep breath. I ask now that you take her hand, Lily.
Lily will hold out her hands. Lily small.
Argona, without standing to her feet again, will reach out and take your hands. It's weird because her physical body is not there, but you can feel her. You can feel the grooves in her fingers. They are ice cold. You can feel the smooth texture of a ring on her right hand. An engagement ring. Kieran, after a moment, begins to channel the ambient energies once more. It becomes freezing around you. You begin to be able to see your breath ever so faintly. And you watch as before you, Argona's visage begins to fade, and just before it does, before she is gone from your vision, you see her mouth the words, "Thank you," before she is gone. The glyph in question, as well as Dandelion, begin to glow this bright blue. And Kieran, letting out this powerful druidic incantation, spreads her arms out wide, and in a snap, everything stops. Is quiet. The ambient temperature begins to return to this place. The candles are blown out. The light returns. And Kieran nearly collapses.
Lily's gonna try to reach out to catch her.
You're able to do so. You help her remain steady and on her feet.
I gotcha.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, that is not an easy incantation, especially not on a soul this old. I'm okay. Thank you. Lily, Dandelion sits before you in the midst of the glyph that Kieran laid forth. She should now reside within the opal, which, now that the opal is part of the blade, I guess she resides in it as well. She'll remain there. Her soul will remain there until you beckon her again. Once you do, she'll remain for a few minutes, but her spirit will be lost forever after that. So make sure you make it count.
Will I know she's there?
That's a difficult question to answer. If it was just the opal, likely not. But as the opal and the blade are one, and you are connected to Dandelion, it's possible, yeah. But that's only a question. That's a question I can't answer. Not fact, at least. Merely speculation.
She nods slowly.
Do you...
And
Go ahead.
I was just getting ready to say she's gonna look over and reach out and pick up Dandelion.
The handle of Dandelion feels no heavier than it did before. Though it now carries the weight of a kind soul within it. The enchanted metal that makes up its hilt is cold to the touch, freezing. But it warms with the touch of your hand. You take a moment and you think about her spirit for a moment. You think about the sword. You think about how she is now held within it. And Lily, you can sense her. You can feel her. Lily, more than that, you sense that she can feel you. Lily, while Argona's soul resides within the confines of Dandelion, the sword is now sentient with the soul of Argona. And Lily, you get an additional feature. You now, with your divine sense, should you choose to, you can opt, while Argona's soul is placed within the confines of Dandelion, should you choose to use your divine sense, you can, instead of searching for the traditional targets of divine sense, being like celestial, undead, etc., you can instead opt to get to actually visualize the emotions of the people around you. It works up to 30 feet and has no maximum target. No maximum target number. Do you need me to repeat that?
No, I was typing.
No, you're good.
I got it.
Just making sure you got it.
I did.
So
Instead
I will
of adding it in as a new thing, I just put it in with my divine sense.
I can help you go through later. We will update your divine sense. But
Okay.
I'll go through that with you after the game. Whenever we're above board. But you now carry the spirit of Argona with you. And when the time comes, this may very well be your greatest weapon against Oz. Kieran comes up behind you and she places her hand on your shoulder. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm relieved.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. She was right, to trust in you.
I'm glad that there's finally gonna be peace.
If you don't mind, I could use a little help cleaning up. Lily, you do see her, that some of her things did kind of get scattered around at the finishing of that ritual.
You don't lift a finger. I got this.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm your Rovan for the day.
That's a tall order. You sure you're up to the challenge?
Everyone seems to forget that I am just as strong as him. just half the size.
Lily,
A quarter of the size.
between you and me, I think you're stronger.
Oh! Lily immediately blushes and just beams. I appreciate that.
I think you're one of the strongest of us. Not many would be willing to do what you're trying to do.
I realized violence wasn't gonna be the answer to someone who only knows violence.
She smiles. I am going to sit for a moment and catch my breath. The only thing that I need to make mention is be very careful when rolling up the glyph. It's ambient magic, still likely reside in the paint, and it could possibly backfire if it's messed with too heavily.
Okay, so do it gently.
Yes. She takes a seat and begins to drink a bit of water, begins to catch her breath, and you begin to go to work with the gathering of her things. And as you finish rolling up the glyph that she had splayed out, you look, your gaze looks up to the gravestone one more time, the headstone, and you see Argona's name. And for a moment, you think back to when Argona Timaran thanked you before her spirit. To say fled from this plane is not entirely accurate, but left your presence. Her very kind smile of a gentle soul. And at that memory, you smile. You finish packing up. You help Kieran back up to your feet. And the two of you begin to return back to the castle. And with that, I think that's a good spot to cut from there, if that's okay with you.
Perfectly fine with me.
So I don't know if you want to like put Argona's spirit in like your inventory or
I know.
Hey, how much does a soul weigh?
more than you think.
Something like 2 pounds, I think.
Something like that. About $1.50. But with that, I need to cut back to Corey.
No.
Because Corey, you have a child you wish to speak to.
Yeah.
Corey, you, in the early hours of the day, you, I would say hunt down, but that sounds way more malicious than I mean for it to. You seek out Nexus, who despite everything he just went through, seems to be doing well. He is excited to get back into training. He's excited to get back into his lessons but for the moment seems to be taking it easy.
Mhm.
He gives you a hug as you come upon him. I'm really sorry to have worried you guys. Where's Auntie Diana?
Oh, her tucked away in a book. I checked on her, though, and made her stretch. She's all right for now.
Okay.
How about you, mister? Last we were talking, I think I was telling you to remember listen to your body.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sometimes things are outside of our control. We take them as they come, and I'm glad you're here now.
He'll nod. I feel okay. I do. I don't want to be a burden.
Mm-hmm.
Dad took me to Mom's grave.
Yeah. What'd you guys talk about?
He told me a lot of stuff about her that I didn't really know about originally. He told me about her favorite food and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
We went and we met with my friend Valeria, and he met her mom, and her mom
Mhm.
was definitely surprised to have, the king walk through her door. And I got to meet
I can
Valeria's dad.
Uh-huh. How'd that go?
It was good. He had just come home from being over in the Fierce Lands. Corey, you remember Valeria's father. You met him. Akinos Phazoth, who was one of the tenders of specifically the Chroma Guard and Amadeus's horses. I was surprised to find out that Cedric and her dad actually knew each other. That dad and her dad, my dad and her dad, knew each other.
The world is very big, but often very small.
I didn't know that he served with my dad.
Mm-hmm. I met him, too. In passing.
Apparently, Dad's horse really likes him.
Animals are usually a good judge of character.
They let us stay for dinner. Dad didn't want to intrude, but Valeria's dad insisted.
You all have fun?
Yeah, it was good. Valeria's mom was really nervous the entire time. I think she was worried about getting in trouble.
It takes a minute to get used to. I wasn't the most comfortable around him either at first.
I didn't really understand much of what Dad and Mr. Phazoth were talking about, but I think they were talking mostly about what's going to happen now that the war is over.
some things are going to change, definitely.
Dad seems worried. I don't think he wants to admit it, but I can tell he's really nervous. I think he's
Sounds
scared.
right. There are a lot of people depending on him. It can be really scary.
I want to be like him one day. I want to be a good king that helps people.
I think you're on the right track.
You think so?
Mhm.
He smiles. He said that once I'm okay to start, he said cleared, which I thought was a weird turn of phrase. Once I'm cleared to start training again, he wants to teach me how to fight. Or at least the way he was taught. I feel
We're all gonna be nervous when you do that, but you know what? It has to be done.
I feel kind of bad because I thought Mr. Thornhill was doing a good job, and I don't know.
I think a lot of scary things have been going on. And I think he might be using this to try to be closer to you. Because he probably feels like he almost lost you. It's been really scary, not just for you, but for adult things.
He also told me that he wants me to be a kid.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the most important things you can do growing up.
I'm obviously not like other kids, and I know that. He told me, he said, "Son, you will make a great king one day, but remember, you're a child now, and you won't always be." He said that he didn't take advantage of his childhood until it was too late, and said not to make his mistake. Something that I guess stuck with me was him saying to remember to take a moment and live. I guess I know what he means, but he makes it sound easy.
When there are moments that are particularly still or just... I don't know, it's a weird feeling. When things settle, even if it's not necessarily quiet, it's something you feel here, and she just points to her sternum. When you feel the most at ease, or the most just warm, enjoy those moments a little bit more.
I guess I'm just worried. Everyone is fighting and doing all these things to protect me, and I feel like I'm doing nothing.
You're learning. Building a foundation for later on. That takes time.
He nods. Almost hesitantly.
The very castle you live in, this very city, didn't take a day.
I know.
Everything your dad has ever learned didn't take a day.
Corey, you think for a moment. Where is his dad?
Did he say he was doing anything in the area, by the way?
He said that he needed... He said that he needed to go talk with Uncle Amadeus. Which...
Ah.
He told me about how Mr. Amadeus wasn't so good anymore.
Yeah. People make mistakes.
I don't know what they're talking about. He went down there, I don't know, a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been here kind of thinking a bit.
Hey, whatever Amadeus has done, and whatever we do, is something that we have to deal with. There are things that we can't control. You can't control your friends from trying something super spicy or playing a prank if you wanted to. So don't stress too hard about what you can't control, okay? What you can do is probably bring Auntie Diane another cup of tea.
Okay, I can do that. And he begins to quickly make his way out of the room, but just at the door, he stops for a moment. Auntie Corey, can I ask you a question?
Always.
What's going to happen to my mom? Corey, a loaded fucking question if there ever was one.
Physically, I don't know. But I know everything about her will never be hidden from you. Because she was your mom before anything else happened. Or not before anything else, but at the heart of it all, she was your mother. She is your mother. She loved you. And we love you now.
He smiles. And he just says to you, I love you guys too.
We love
I
you
want
so much.
I want everyone to be safe.
We're trying. And we're trying our best for her too.
Okay. And with that, he will leave to go fetch tea for Diana. Corey, there's an immediate thought of, I have to go see his fucking dad.
Corey takes like 2 seconds, like, ooh, that was a question. Ooh, that sucked. Alright, and then she dashes off.
Do you, in your pursuit of Cedric, wish to bring anyone else? I won't make you worry about having to find anyone, but just my question is, who else do you wish to involve in this next scene?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because ultimately, you guys have things you need to talk to Amadeus about as well. Or at least you likely do. So if you want to just say anyone and everyone, that's fine. I'll let you all get involved in the scene.
Unless you refuse, you are being rounded up. But Corey will go in first. No, I will not tell the child. Oh, no. No.
Corey, what's gonna happen to my mom?
Corey,
well, you see, kiddo.
Corey, we're doing our best for her too. I'm doing my best to put her brain into fucking ash. I'm doing my best for her, kiddo. Brained thumbs up.
Does anyone refuse the call to... Yeah, you good?
Dying. Dying. No! I did not expect his son to ask me that. And I'm oh. Gee, kiddo.
My question is, does anyone refuse the call to meet up and go pursue Cedric and supposedly Amadeus?
Ravon will.
You will refuse, or you'll go with?
Oh, no, I'm going. My apologies.
Refused. Denied.
No. Hard no.
I'm busy. Immediately snuggles into bed.
Ravon's had a time. He died.
They say my third death I get a free Sunday.
I'm having trouble debating about whether Flit would go or not, truth be told. I feel like after what she dealt with this morning, Flit would probably hunt down Reno and talk to him. If you want to say that that's what Flit is doing instead, that's fine. Otherwise, she can just kind of go.
Yeah, if you want to hunt down Reno, that's fine.
All right. I think Flit will do that instead.
Lily, if it's okay with you, I am going to say that Lily is likely doing the other scene in tandem with this, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah, are you going to be in attendance?
I'm not refusing.
Okay. If you're not refusing them, I'm going to say yes. So as a few of you gather and you make your way down into the dungeons, let me change our track. Let me see. Is this too spooky?
No, this feels appropriate.
That feels appropriate. You guys make your way down into the dungeons. You are permitted entry. There is definitely an escalated guard presence that is unfamiliar but not unwelcomed, considering that the king is down here and there is a high value prisoner down here as well. As you guys are honestly escorted to where Cedric is alongside inside Amadeus's chamber. Amadeus has been cordoned off to what is essentially solitary confinement for very high value prisoners, people that they don't want getting out. This isn't the antechamber, the anti-magic antechamber that you guys are familiar with, but this is a close second. Well, I'm just pulling up a specific note. A moment. Where did it go? Ah, there we go. Excellent. Okay, great. As you guys begin to make your way in, you overhear a conversation currently taking place. One side of the conversation is Cedric, a firm, familiar voice that you're familiar with, and the other is cold. But you do recognize it in Amadeus. Amadeus speaks first. I appreciate you coming to see me. I only had a question for you. How did you know it was me? Cedric speaks up. Truth be told, I didn't at first. Not until the last time we sparred, in which you asked me what my plan for Hellfaust Ridge was. I told you that we would send griffins. I had changed my mind mere hours before the assault, opting to use Eric's bullets to dig under their walls. Imagine my surprise when we discovered ballistas with wide nets on the ridge, a tactic that you like to employ for anti-air. We would never have taken the ridge had I sent the griffins. Amadeus replies, seemingly surprised. You never told me that you secured the ridge. No, I didn't. You always used to have a tendency to change your strategies last second. It was always left to me to bail you out. There's a admittedly awkward pause. You guys are kind of standing just out of sight, listening to this conversation. A few moments pass. Amadeus speaks again. Do you remember when you met her? She came to our rescue when we were ambushed by that chimera. She saved poor AG from succumbing to his wounds. There's another audible silence. Cedric speaks. AG can never wield a sword again. His hand was all mangled. He runs a tavern now, in town. It was so long ago. We were brothers back then. And Aurelia, I was smitten. I was like a kid with his first crush. You had to console me when I first introduced myself as Cedric. And yet, all these years later, only one of us remained loyal to her. You guys, upon hearing Amadeus say that last line, expect to hear a brawl break out. You expect to hear broken bones and the sounds of someone curb stomping a motherfucker. Instead, you just hear the sound of approaching footsteps. Cedric speaks. I forgive you. But I cannot forget what you've done. And I will make sure that you aren't permitted to act against us, against me, ever again. And it's only a moment later when Cedric rounds the corner, exiting from the chamber, and he almost stumbles into your group. Oh. Apologies, I didn't know we had an audience.
Sorry.
No, it's quite alright. Hi, no, thank you. Nugget is trying to lick my fingies from under the table. Under my
I don't
desk.
think I would. I don't think I would have been able to restrain myself from throttling him if not for my emotional support nugget.
He requested my presence, and so I made my way down here. And you all are just fine. Did you come to seek me?
I mean, we could talk later. We were actually... I'd heard you were down here and was a bit worried.
No, it's all right. I'd Well, truthfully, I'd rather get out of here. This place is stuffy. Corey, can we take a walk, actually?
Oh. It looks like sure.
He looks to the rest of your group. Zarek told me how you all have offered to give him information on his mother in exchange for information that could help us. If you're still looking to do so, if you're still looking for information, I recommend speaking with the castle groundskeeper, an old dwarven man named Modmug Greenthumb. He works in the gardens. He has loyally served for almost 300 years. Been here since before me, before Trent. Might be worth speaking with him. And I'll give you all that name. Lore drops. Modmug Greenthumb. He said Zarek, not Sarah.
Thank you. I was confused for a moment.
Dark. That's Sarah.
Sorry, not Zara. So, with that information in tow, should the rest of you decide to seek out Modmug, you are welcome to do so. But it seems that Corey, he wishes to have a private conversation with you.
Sure. Corey was just worried that there would be no beatings left for the rest of us on Amadeus.
No beatings today, it would seem, which
Right.
is a surprise because you're pretty confident that you would not be able to hold yourself back if he had said that shit to you.
At least tugged him to hit his head on bars or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Slip on ice within the cell, something.
You see a couple of Cedric's personal guard begin to follow you two, and Cedric kind of waves them off. We'll be all right. Thank you. Feel free to rest for a while. Maybe grab some food. I will summon you when I need you. To which the two guards are a little surprised, but they nod and they let you and Cedric go off on your own. As soon as you're out of sight, Cedric lets out a bit of a groan. Theon has placed personal guard, me under the care of a new personal guard. I presume he's aware that I am going to give myself up to the enemy again, which can't say I blame him.
It may take some time to earn his trust back.
He was certainly upset. Gave me quite an earful. It's like being lectured by my mother again.
Only red and scaly.
Yes. And privy to the ability to breathe fire, should he choose. Thankfully, he did not choose this day.
Ah, only cinders. Got you.
Only cinders. And you see, he for a moment he almost gets almost a little shy. I'm surprised to see that you're not with Diana. The two of you are normally glued at the hip.
The only thing glued to her right now is another book. It's the divine business going on, relating the Vanahir Pantheon to one that she's reading about, but not quite.
I see. You'll have to fill me in a bit more on that, as I'm still quite unaware as to what your group got up to.
Exposition is a cantrip.
Exposition is a cantrip, as the two of you are walking. Corey, as the two of you are walking, Cedric, as you're going over everything that happened over the last 24-ish hours, Cedric actually takes you outside and walks out with you to a place you haven't been in a while, but his little private getaway underneath the cliffs that hold up Castle Dragon's Reach at this little almost like private beach area. He takes off his boots and quickly takes a sit in the sand. Do you join him?
Yeah.
Just had a weird thematic question for Corey. Does sand stick to her most does sand stick to her better than it would other people?
I don't know.
Does it become
I
wet
don't
sand
know.
when she sits in it?
I say I can roll. That's usually what I do when I have a question about her.
She just steps on a beach and all of a sudden she's wearing boots.
But as you sit down beside him, I never really got the chance to apologize to you and your friends about, well, giving myself up the way I did. Not, or at least not in the way that I had wished to.
Oh, Cedric. I can't imagine what goes through your head having a city, a continent rely on you. I trust that you had the best intentions in mind. I don't understand your math. I'm just glad you're here.
He smiles.
That sucked so much. You owe me so much. She says, just punching him in the arm. You owe us so. Ooh.
I owe you and your friends a lot. More than most.
Careful now. You owe us your whole kingdom by the end of it. And I don't need it.
I don't think you would take it.
No, you and Diana are enough.
Being confined to a cell, a damp, dark cell for several nights, days. The only intermission being fighting in the midst of an arena gives one a lot of time to think. Oddly enough, the thing that I couldn't stop thinking of was, well, I suppose it's not really odd, but I kept thinking about my poor boy and how I had abandoned him so. I had never really told told him about his mother, what she was like. I had given him the best that I could, but it took a situation like that to really realize that I did not give him my best.
It's so hard to know what to say. He was just asking me things too. Oh, Cedric, he asked what was gonna happen to his mom.
God. What did you tell him?
That we would try our best for her. That it's complicated. That we try because, I mean, all we can do. We learned a little bit about the brands. There's, God, Ariana just said kill her. I can only imagine if Aurelia knows what's going on, what she's done. If she ever learns, really, if there's a shred of her in there, she learns what happened to Nexus because of her. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I'm not sure I'd want her to know if there is a shred in there of her.
I took Nexus to see her grave yesterday.
He told me.
He likely didn't tell you why, though.
I'm not sure. What?
I wanted him to see it, as he had never really seen it before. I mean, he had visited, yes, but he had never seen it, if that makes sense. And I needed to see it too. For so long, that woman was my purpose for fighting for everything. And after much thought and a lot of grief, I've come to the conclusion that the Aurelia I used to know is so far gone.
Corey takes his hand. Carly just puts hers over his.
He will take it. No matter what, she needs to be stopped. Not just for me, for her, for Nexus.
He deserves to rest.
Hopefully we can provide that for her. But I will not forsake these people, all these people who have put their trust in me or someone that I used to love. I can't do that. We have to stop her, Corey.
We will. There's no way the realm and the world can continue if we don't.
He takes a deep breath.
I'm so sorry.
No. You don't have anything to be sorry for. It needs to be done. And I will see to it. Is my cross to bear.
What got you in trouble in the first place was thinking it was just yours.
He looks down at your hand and he gently sort of traces his thumb across the back of your hand. I suppose a helping hand wouldn't hurt, would it? As he smiles and looks up at you. Question above game.
Yeah.
Did you
Shoot.
tell him what Diana said about wanting to seek out the rest of the temples after everything was said and done?
You know what? She probably would tell him.
Okay. You know that when all this is over, I won't be able to go with you to help search for these temples, right?
Figured Mr. Busy Man could never leave for too long.
No. But I can promise that I will be here, ready to embrace you both whenever you decide to return.
She'll lean on his shoulder and look out at the water. Fine home to return to.
He smiles and leans his head on yours. The two of you enjoy each other's company for some time, watching the waves. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day. The sun twinkles on the ocean. The water ever so gently caresses your feet every now and again. And there is peace here. And on that note, that, I think, is as good of a place as any to end for tonight, as we are getting close to our time.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Lord.
Lord. Thank you all for
Fucking made
joining
my heart
us.
drop. Nick just asking what's happening. My mom, no!
I had that question loaded like a gun.
Wait, which question? I just didn't hear you.
What's gonna happen to my mom?
Oh.
I'll smile. Feeling like
Because I love Corey, but
Colin's-
Corey is not the person that needs to answer that question.
thank you for
that
that,
was
too,
a-
Cedric. Cedric, oh God, what did you tell him?
Yeah, even Cedric was like, "Oh fuck." But I'm flicking my dice. Thank you all for joining us. We need to go ahead and send it on around the horn. We're gonna start with Sarah, as I know they need to go bed.
They can currently find me nowhere, but they can go check out the lovely Coffee Bean Kazga. She is always running fundraisers for various good causes. Check her out, tell her I sent you, send her your love, and I'm gonna pass it on over to CG.
Hello, that's a me, G. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me on various Good Beans D&D channels such as twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn every other Saturday for Saved by the Spell, our Strixhaven campaign, wherein I think we did pretty good last time, but we are certainly embroiled in the machinations of dangerous saboteurs and plotters, we'll say.
Not
can
the
also find-
saboteurs and the plotters.
You know what? If they were a political party, I'd vote for them. They seem like upstanding citizens. You can also find me every other Tuesday for Rascals and Ravnica. Ordinarily, this would be our on week, but I believe we are skipping this week as Jake is out of town.
Yes, that is correct.
Um,
I miss my boy. I miss my boy, CG. Sorry to
play him
clarify.
again later, brother.
Sorry to clarify, I was referring to Tusk, not Jake. Jake can enjoy Indiana, I guess. Rolls eyes, looks over to see if he's here. I don't see him across the hall, so I can say that with confidence.
That's okay. I'm perfectly fine falling through this hole for another week or so.
You've been falling for a while, brother.
Anyone got any cards? Yeah, that's more or less it for me. We will be doing, I believe, I'm hoping, the last of my cameo on Wizard Sibs plays over on Zymesight's channel. So go watch them tomorrow at about 7:30 EST, where we're gonna be wrapping up Resident Evil 5.
Let's go.
That's it for me. I throw it on over to J Frost.
Hey everyone, Twitch, Twitter, JFrost747. Find me here every Sunday for this lovely campaign, as well as every other Tuesday for our Rascals and Ravnica campaign, as previously mentioned by CG. Yeah, we've been falling in that hole for quite some time, so, yeah, I got cards. You want to play?
Nah, brother, I got snacks. Y'all want a nanner?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I think Nanner sounds good. Don't you agree, Adelcies? I agree.
God damn it. But yes, besides that, you can also find me at twitch.tv/BurnoutBond every other Saturday for our Saved by the Spell campaign. No session this week, as I've worked a fucking 70 to 80 hour week at work.
Jesus.
I'm fucking tired, bro. I want to die. So I'm going to be taking some time to rest, relax, and whatnot. Also, hopefully, should be starting up some Pathfinder Kingmaker soon enough, and restarting the Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke with the spouse. Besides that, I think I'm gonna be working a little bit more on some new monsters and shit. We just got done with the Seraphim for 5th edition. Big fucker.
Big boy.
Big fucking bastard. That's it for me. River.
You can find me over at twitch.tv/wickedriver97, where I actually have an official date. I'm coming back now.
Let's go.
I just am gonna prep everything and get an actual thing ready for that before I announce anything fully. Because I have a frogager now, as I call them.
A what?
A frogager. My partner Farron, that I call Frog, is now my manager, so they're a frogager.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was some sort of fucking slur that you're just dropping casually or not. Had to confirm.
No. I gotta be careful with that because I casually drop words now that I'm not allowed to say on Twitch. So, yeah, but I have an official date, so
Let's
look
go.
forward to that. Punk, I think Punk?
Punk is
Do
not come.
open tomorrow. I would like to go to bed.
Then wrap up.
First off, thank you, Tart, for session and for cute shit.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for bombarding me with questions. You all can
Don't you
find
know
me-
that questions are a child's favorite pastime?
They really are, and I do love Nexus very much. But you all can find me on Twitch on Mondays. I like to play Hades 2. I like other roguelites. I just play every now and again. And I'm most active on Instagram, Blue Sky, and sometimes Twitter.
Yeah, can you do me a favor and like play something else on Monday so that way I can watch your stream without being spoiled for Hades 2? Thanks.
Fine. I guess I'll switch it up. Maybe I'll play Hades 1 tomorrow.
Hey, Pug, when are we playing Evil Within again?
Damn, I was about
what?
to make that joke.
You know what? You pick a day with me and we'll make it our thing. But you're Mr. Busy Man, popular man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melts.
We'll figure
We-
something out, dum-dum. And
we
we
also
will.
need- We also need to set aside a date, Punk, for you
Gods.
you,
eventually.
me, and Zai to corner you and talk to your ear off about fighting game lore.
Oh yes, they're going to grab me and put me down in front of a PowerPoint for Guilty Gear.
I think Pug would be really into the Tekken franchise.
I do
Yeah, you
have
would.
one of the Tekken. Someone got me that, and I
Ooh.
have played like once or twice. Obviously, Kuma is my favorite. Obviously, the bear.
Tekken 8 has
But-
2 bears.
Yeah, it does. I love both. But yeah, I know that's me. I play a favorite Punchy Punch, Star Girl, Water Ganassi. Defrost.
He already went. I think
He
it's
already
just
went?
me left.
Go Tart. Wait, did we show for Joe?
Well, Joe just shills me, so.
So farting Tart. Floofiest, doofiest, dorkiest man around. He is great.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
We're all friends here. Relax.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Joe usually goes on to shill the YouTube channel. So, hey, YouTube frogs, thank you for tuning on in. I appreciate you. Thank you for kind of dealing with me while I've been away. I did a little bit of a vacation this past week because I do a lot, and I had some extra PTO, and it was GDQ, so I just vibed for a week. I vibed. I did the Elden Ring DLC. Fuck the final boss of the Elden Ring DLC, might I add. If you know, you know. But yes, hello, my name is Faring Tart. You have already found me here at twitch.tv/Faring Tart, where I do D&D, I do variety games. Next stream will be Tuesday. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet. I'll likely be starting Frog Detective, since we're not doing our traditional Rascals and Ravnica game that day. But yeah, this week we'll be doing probably Frog Detective. We'll be doing Too Many Types with Bev on Wednesday. And Friday, Johnny and I are going to have our inaugural episode of the Two Boys, One Boar podcast, where we are going to bring someone on and basically do like a get to know you podcast. So we're going to have a very special guest on where we are going to ask them just ask them questions about stuff that they like, stuff that they're into, stuff that they're doing, and just kind of let them talk about whatever they want. We're going to shoot the shit for an hour or two, and then we'll be jumping into Castle Crashers with Elaine and Nate, and that's going to be a good time. And then I don't know what the fuck I'm doing Saturday. I'll figure that out. But probably finishing up Frog Detective, because I likely won't finish it on Tuesday. But yeah. So kind of getting back into the swing of things. But for now, we need to send it on over to someone. We are going to raid someone who we actually don't get to raid very often. We're going to raid Connor. Because Connor is having an affiliate anniversary today. So we're going to just pop on over there, and we're going to show a little bit of love to that very well-bearded man. Full-bearded man. So go show him some love. He's currently doing Darksiders 2. Make sure to drop your happy affiliate anniversary little message thing when you get in there to the chat. And we will see you all next Sunday for another episode of War of the Shattered Sun. Thank you all, Exilia Regalia, in fact. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all so very much. And remember, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. You are loved, you are valid, and most importantly, more than anything else, you are loved, you are valid, you fucking matter. We love you all, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.
See ya! I had to do the Joe thing.